Okay, just a little history here before I continue with the video. We had poured this concrete counter for a bar for the pool house that we had built, and the owner took a look at my sample and decided they didn't necessarily think they were going to like it. And it was because mainly I had had a dry concrete mix, and I had lots of little air pockets, and it wasn't very good looking. And instead of me trying to convince them that it was going to be okay, I agreed with them because I wanted them to be happy, and we went ahead and installed granite on the bar top. So if you remember a previous video, we broke up this countertop and threw it away. But for future reference, I wanted to understand how I could recover from a dry mix. And so what you'll see now is me trying to repair the sample that I had poured, which is about a 2-foot square piece, which I always pour a sample out of the mix that we actually mix up, because that way we can test colors and finishes on it and grind it and that sort of thing. We can discover what we need to do to it before we do the actual finish on the top. So anyway, what you'll see next is me starting to grind and try to recover the sample for future projects. Now this project has already got the granite installed and they're happy, but this is for me personally to know that I can repair a sample, or a concrete top if I need to. If for some reason I have a dry mix, and that is the purpose of this experiment. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to try to grind our sample with this really aggressive wheel here, pad, just to see how aggressive it is, to see how much this is set up. It's been here for about a week, but if it's too aggressive, I'll just go to like a 200 or 100 grit pad. Okay, the wheel is just a little too aggressive. That's for some hard concrete. You can see it was taking it off fast, but it was taking off really more than I want. So I'm going to go to a 100 grit pad. Okay, so here's my sample that I salvaged, that I didn't throw away. And I see there's probably some residue, some dust residue. So I think what I'm going to do is just slurry half of this, or 2/3 of it, and I'm going to leave that part rough just to show people the difference. And this is part of the process if you use a really dry concrete mix, and it can be sometimes semi-smooth when you take it out of the form. Just trying to find a smooth spot. I've already ground it, so there are no smooth spots, but this mix was dry. There's lots of little bitty pockets. I don't know if you can see, and it's not very smooth. So I'm going to slurry it, and then when I grind it again, I'm not going to use the heaviest grit pad. I'll just use like an 1800 or something like that, and see if I can expose some of the aggregate while leaving it smooth. So this is the product I'm going to make my slurry out of. You can buy products online from the concrete countertop stores, but this was handy because I was in Ram Tool the other day, and they have all these packages like hanging on the wall, and I saw this one. I said, I'm gonna try that for my slurry. That way, if it's something I can use, it'll be a local item that I can get easily. So what I'm going to do is just mix up a little bit using some warm water, and then we'll trowel it on. So now I'm going to pour my water in there out of my honey jar. Not too much. And you just want it to be like a paste. Let me get this mixed up and I'll show you. Okay, so I've mixed it. I'll show you about the consistency. Pretty good. You want it to be kind of thin because you want it to go in those little micro air pockets. If it's too thick, it won't go down in there. Get the spanking stick cleaned off. I'm just going to dump a little bit out here. It's not going to take much. Really should have something that's smoother than this, but I think it'll be okay. Can't tell, but I'm putting a lot of pressure just to get that down in there. The other thing you can do with this is to use it to reshape your corners. If you have some chips out of it or something. Okay, so I've got my Seco grinder going here, and I'm starting off with a 1500 grit pad because I don't want to take more of this off than I want, than I need to. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to get wet because I can't find my apron, my rubber apron. So I'm just going to get this wet. We'll turn her on. Okay, well, it's obvious I underestimated the hardness of that coating, so let me go get a like a 400 grit. Okay, so got my 100. I don't have as much patience with this as a lot of people do, so I like to see results. Sometimes that gets me into trouble. You can see, I'm going to zoom in here. You can see right away the difference. I'm starting to expose. And I think I'll just go lightly with this pad, see what happens. Maybe turn the RPMs down a little bit. Okay, that is exactly what I was looking for. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a lot of good Portland cement still left here to stain. You can't really tell, I guess, too much, but clean this off. Over here, there were so many air pockets that mostly what was exposed was aggregate. There wasn't going to be a whole lot to stain here. You're not acid staining the aggregate, you're acid staining the Portland cement and the sand to some degree. So here, I'll be able to get some color into the slab, where there, I would have pretty much been left with whatever. So now I'm going to take, the 400, the 800, the 1500, and try to just polish this. Okay, so I kind of left this area through here to show an example of the slurry where it's not particularly ground down all the way. This is to 3000 and this is to like probably a 50 or less. So What I'll do next is I'll let this dry and we'll stain it. But I was going to try to give you an idea. Got water on my lens, sorry. See if I can get a close-up of the undulations there. You can see, hopefully, the light, how rough it is. And then moving back, how smooth this is. So, and the point is really, now I'll have Portland cement in those little valleys that I can stain. And it's much smoother. Very smooth. Nice.